Ain't nothing to it. Real one. Ain't nothing to it. Boss.
Hey everyone, this is Brandy and I'm back with another Nurse with Purpose vlog today. We are going to be talking about NCLEX, everything about NCLEX and my NCLEX experience. So let's jump right into it. So if you didn't know, it took me 2 times to pass this test. Like I said, 2 times. And I'm not ashamed of it as I was the first time when it first happened to me. But because I can just, tell my story and let you guys learn from my mistakes so you guys can pass it on the first time. So let's jump right into the story. I graduated in December. I graduated December 13th to be exact. And I took my test the first time January 10th. And the reason I did this because I had a resident job already lined up for February 12th, I think. It was February 12th, February 10th. It was that week of Valentine's Day, that Monday. I was supposed to start working. And we had received our ATTs about, a couple weeks after graduation, which was really shocking because they had told us it was going to take a while. And we literally ended up getting it within less than a week. So I scheduled my test and I was just more, I have to get this test passed before I start my job. So January 10th comes around. Well, let's back up. So what I used for the first time around, I used UWorld. UWorld is actually very good. It had very good explanations. A lot of people actually passed the test on the first time with just using UWorld, but not me. Apparently, I needed some more study materials. And I needed some more time to study for the actual test. So we take it on January 10th. I'm not going to lie. I really didn't feel prepared going into taking this test. I was very nervous, but I was more focused on my job because I wanted to keep my job. So I went in and, sit down, take the test. I didn't bring any snacks. I didn't have any breakfast. I didn't do nothing. I literally just brought myself and my driver's license. So as I'm taking the test, we get to 75. Of course, it doesn't shut off. We get to 180, it doesn't shut off. We get to 195, it doesn't shut off. We get to 210, and at this point, I'm just like, I'm going to get the full 265 questions. So I only took like maybe 2 breaks throughout the whole, 6 hours it took me to take this test. And after I finished taking the test, I got to the car and I just started bawling, crying. Like I was just more overwhelmed because I got the full 265 questions. Like I was not prepared to take the full 265. So tip to you, be sure you are mentally prepared to take 265 questions. Already have that in your mind because you don't want to go in thinking, oh, I'm going to get 75. Oh, I'm going to get 100. Oh, I'm going to get this because you honestly don't know how many you're going to get. But if you mentally and, actually prepare yourself for 265 questions, when you're going to be set. Like, and if you get 75 questions, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I did good. So I came home that day and I told myself that I wasn't going to do the little PVT trick, but I had to because I had the full 265 questions. Like I just had to know. Of course, I did the trick and the trick was on me because it took my money and it re-registered me for another exam. So yes, the PVT trick does work. And I just started crying even more, just bawling, crying. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my gosh, I failed this test and I can't start my job. So I reached out to my recruiter and my recruiter told me, my recruiter reached out to my manager and my manager held my position. She just said, hey, keep going. You'll get it next time. You can start, working here during the next cohort. So boom, bam, still got my job. What a blessing. Like, thank the Lord. So now let's get deeper into this test. So I took like maybe a week and a half off, just a break of doing nothing. Like I didn't do absolutely nothing. I went out like just a week and a half before I started restudying for the test. So when I started, the things that I used the second time, I used Kaplan. I used a book called Exam Cram. I used Prioritization and Delegation and Assignment book. And I also was still using UWorld because, of course, my subscription wasn't up yet. And I was going to get every penny of my money worth. So, number one, Kaplan. Kaplan was amazing because Kaplan taught me the test. It taught me what type of questions I was going to get. It taught me the difference between the passing level and non-passing level questions, in which I was able to catch on while I took this test the second time, how I was doing based on the type of questions I was getting. So I would suggest everyone get Kaplan because Kaplan was a really good study material to use. They have review sessions. You can do the review sessions online or in person. I did mine online because the in-person ones were already taken up. So it was very, very, very good. Exam Cram was a book that I had ordered off of Amazon. It was very good. I used that for content, so I was able to refreshen up on a lot of things as far as like fundamentals, OB, cardiac, GI, like certain topics that we learned in nursing school that I just wanted to, freshen up as I'm studying for this test again, because you don't know what you're going to get on the test. And after each chapter has questions after each chapter. So you were able to, quiz yourself over what you had learned. Prioritization, Delegation, and Assignment book. That was like the lifesaver. So prioritization and delegation and assignment type questions are passing level questions from what I learned from Kaplan. And of course, from what I experienced because I passed the test. So that book was very helpful because I was able to practice those type of questions. So when it got more closer towards my testing date, like I was really in that book, like really heavy. And it also comes with like an access code that you can do the online questions to as well. So it was that book was like sent from the Lord Jesus. Like I will suggest everyone get that book. It was really cheap. And I'm actually going to leave all the descriptions of all the study materials that I use down below in the description box. So, and of course, I use UWorld because my subscription wasn't over with. So I took the test again in March. Went in. I ate breakfast that morning. I brought snacks. I felt more confident, more prepared. I actually tested at a whole different location. I didn't test at the same location. So when I went in, I felt more prepared to take this test. So when I took the test, got to 75, it didn't shut off. Got to 180, didn't shut off. Got to 190, didn't shut off. So at this point, I'm just like, Brandy, you're going to get the full 265 questions. Like, that's just on period. And I was okay with that. So during this test, I probably took about 6 or 7 breaks. Like, I just kept getting up. I would go stretch. I would go eat a snack. I would go drink my water. I would go have pep talks to myself in the bathroom. So when I got to question 250, I got up, took my very last break, went to the bathroom, and I looked myself in the mirror and I said, Brandy, these last 15 questions are going to determine whether you are a nurse or not. I need you to focus, knock these last 15 questions out the park, and you are going to be a registered nurse when you leave this building today. So that's exactly what I did. Went in, did those last 15 questions. And when I left, I felt so confident. I didn't cry. I felt ease. I just felt very good about this test, even though I got the full 265 questions again. So, of course, I said I wasn't going to do the trick, but I just had to know. And this time when I did the trick, my test results were on hold. My test results were actually on hold for over 24 hours. So I did start getting real anxious, started panicking, like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, why are my test results still on hold? So in the midst of me on the phone with my daddy, the day after my test, we're talking, and he's like, why are your test results still on hold? I said, I don't know. So in the midst of me talking to him, like, I kept doing the trick. Then I did the trick again, and I got the good pop-up, and I kid you not, my heart literally stopped for 2 beats, just 2 beats. And I started screaming, and my dad was like, well, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I got the good pop-up, which means I passed the test. Like, oh my gosh, like I just couldn't believe it that I passed this test. And then, we had to wait till we actually saw the official pass results. So I did get up the next morning, which was 48 hours after my test, and I paid the $8 for my unofficial results, and they say pass. And I was like, I literally just, like a big sigh of relief was just off my shoulders. And I was just so excited, and I just was so happy. And my advice for you guys is to take your time, taking this test. Like, you literally just finished the most rigorous program ever known to mankind. So take a break, take a breather. I know some people may have, jobs or resident positions lined up, but give yourself a break. You need that mental break. Like, that is, I can honestly say, is what made a difference between me taking the test the first time and me taking it the second time. Like, I gave myself a break. I gave myself time to actually study for this exam. So do the same for yourself, and make sure you take your breaks and while you're taking the test, and bring you snacks. Eat a good breakfast the day before. And I don't know what your religious preferences are, but for me, I prayed the entire time while studying and while taking the test. So just make sure, keep your head in the game. If you do fail, the first time, it's okay. And I know, once you get those results, like, it's not going to be okay. I truly understand how it feels. But coming from the person who went through the whole experience, like, it's going to be okay. You're going to do fine. You're going to pass this test. You're going to be a nurse. You've already finished the hard part. The hard part was nursing school. All you got to do is pass this test, and that's it. Like, that's literally all you have left to do. All right, so that's the end of my NCLEX experience, and I hope this video helps some of you guys out there. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'm also going to be sure to leave all the description of the books that I use to help me pass this test down below in the description box. So you guys take care, study, and it's going to be all right. Just breathe. All right. That's Nurse with Purpose for you. We'll catch you later.